Hello and welcome to the Rogscast. I'm Will. Today I'm joined with Kian,
Hello.
Felix,
Hello.
and Nick.
Hello.
And this is obviously a football-based podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the Euros, which are starting today for you guys, but obviously tomorrow for us. We're going to be running through everything to do with the tournament, the teams we think are going to do well, the teams that we might think won't do as well as you might think, the England squad, whatever. But we're going to start off with the big question, which is, who do you think is going to win the tournament? And we're going to start with Felix.
I mean, safe option. I've said France, but I fancy. I don't think they'll win it, but I don't know. I'm saying France, but I think Italy could shock a lot of people. I could see them making the final easily. I think they're hard to beat. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of them, but they sound like a good outfit.
Nick, do you agree with that? France to win it?
I'm backing our boys.
You're back in
I'm
England?
back in England.
You think
I'm
it's
back
coming
in
home?
England. We're going all the way. It's coming home.
Okay.
Love that.
And Kian, who you got?
Similar to Raul, well, exactly the same as Raul. Went with France, but like Raul said, I think Italy are a strong side. Unbeaten in 23 games.
Yeah.
So I think
like
they're really underrated.
I think they've only
I think people
conceded
are
like
overlooking
one goal
them.
in the last 10 as well or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't write them off at all,
Yeah, Mancini.
especially with everything going on with France.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Griezmann got injured and Benzema, right?
Benzema's,
Griezmann.
yeah, I've not heard about Griezmann, but I know Benzema's injured and Mbappe and Giroud have had a bit of a
the
tiff
beef.
recently.
Yeah, but I mean,
Mbappe
Giroud
wanted
seems
to take that to the press.
Yeah, Giroud's had beef with everyone. I mean, Benzema. I also have gone for France being a bit boring, but I think it's just their attacking force combined with a defense who's pretty solid. I mean, there's a couple of guys in there in other teams which could make it difficult for France. I mean, I guess as a second option, I'd say Portugal could easily go all the way, but I've got a reason for why I don't think they're going to go all the way, which I'm going to discuss later, because I think Portugal are going to get stopped. Portugal are going to get stopped in a bit of a shock result, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so boys, dark horse. Felix kind of already had a little bit of a Holland, Netherlands kind of. No, not Netherlands. What the hell am I talking about? He said Italy as his dark horse.
Well, Italy are my main dark horse is Denmark.
Okay, why?
Look, they've got quite a solid team, and I think because I was doing that tournament predictor, they've got their runs to the final. Semis, final, whatever. It's quite a nice one, and I could see them knocking out Netherlands in the quarters. I think they'd play. The way I predicted it, they'd have Turkey last 16, which is a winnable. A lot of people saying Turkey is a dark horse, but it's at the stage I don't think you can call them a dark horse anymore, because everyone seems to. It's quite fashionable to rate them nowadays. So I think Denmark could do very well.
Okay, well, my dark horse, I'll go second. My dark horse is actually Austria. I think their group's not that difficult, and then I've got them facing Italy in the round of 16, and I actually think that, contrary to Felix saying Italy are good, I think Austria are going to knock out Italy in the round of 16, and then they'll lose in the quarterfinals. But I think going to the quarterfinals for Austria would be pretty impressive. I think that they got quite a solid team. Obviously, David Alaba is a great footballer, Sabitzer, players like that. But yeah, I've gone for Austria. What about you, Kian?
As I previously alluded to, I've went with Italy. Obviously, I know. I think a lot of people are rating them at the minute, but I don't think they're rated as highly as they should be. They've got a really strong squad. Like I said, unbeaten in 20-something games. I don't think, from what I can remember, I don't think their group's too difficult. I think they can get out of that quite comfortably.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple group.
And from there, it's not the hardest run I've seen. I think there's a lot of teams with harder runs to the final.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've gone with Italy.
Okay.
And then they'd be playing Belgium in the semis.
Theoretically,
I think they. And Belgium. I feel like Belgium are raging.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, you've got England to win it, but is that also your dark horse pick? Because I don't think many people have England down to win the whole thing.
No, my dark horse was originally Turkey, but seeing as everyone now is backing, we can't really call them a dark horse. So I've agreed with Raul. Denmark. I reckon they could go pretty far. What's their group again?
Denmark are playing in a group with they've got Belgium, Russia, and Finland, so it's quite likely for them to come out.
I reckon they can go.
It's quite likely for them to come out of that group, and then they'll be. But then they end up playing against the team. I feel it's quite likely to see them coming up against someone like Denmark, and then that's two. They are Denmark. seeing Turkey, I mean, and then they're the two dark
Yeah.
horse teams up against each other.
I
So
think Denmark could go pretty far, to be
Yeah.
fair.
okay,
I think
Right.
a lot of it's how easy your run is to the finals, where you'll see a lot of the big teams dropping out a lot earlier than maybe the
yeah,
more
yeah,
lesser teams, should we say?
okay. And now
that kind of goes into the early exits, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
and onto the and I guess moving on from that, flops. Who do you guys think are being overrated going into the tournament? Who do you think is gonna maybe not do as well as they thought? Let's start with Nick this time.
I think France,
You think France?
their group, I don't know. I just think something about France, seeing now the injuries, I don't know if they're going to do well. Definitely not. I don't
Third in
know,
their
I just-
group?
France, yeah. Something's not right. I'm feeling it.
Okay. It'd be
A lot of
interesting
drama
to
going
see.
into their group.
What about you, Kian? Your flop.
I went with Germany, and not because I think they're going to finish third. I think Hungary are going to get that third place spot. Whether or not they get through to the round of 16 with that third place spot is different. I just think Germany have a lot of good talent, but their manager likes to go with the older Asian players that are more seasoned, you could say. So I don't think they're going to bring it to the plate. When they're playing teams like France and Portugal, I just don't think they have enough to pick them points up. Whereas Hungary, I think, could be a bit more hungry for it.
Don't. I think, yeah,
Excuse
I
the
think
pun.
Germany's an interesting one because obviously everyone knows that Lowe is going to leave after the Euro. So whether his heart's in it fully, you don't know. He's been their coach for what, 14 odd years, 15 years, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, it's got to the point where he's a bit stale. Will they succeed? Will they? I mean, they obviously flopped at the World Cup. I know it's been 3 years and they've been good in qualifying. Obviously, they beat Latvia, I think 7-0, I'm pretty sure, the other day.
Yeah, it was.
But I don't agree. I think my flop, I mean, theoretically, my flop is, I guess, Italy going out in the round of 16 because quite a lot of people have hotly tipped them. I think obviously going out to Austria in my general prediction would make them a flop. But if you're going for a more realistic flop, I'm in the group stage. I actually have for what they should be doing. I think a team like Wales, not really flop wise, but I think they're going to come out of their group with 0 points. I think they're going to lose to Switzerland, Turkey, and Italy, and the Welsh people are going to go home disappointed. What about you, Rel, flop wise?
I don't want to. I mean, if we're talking flops, like I'm gonna say England, and this is my reasoning, right? Because I don't want to say it, but just the way our run to the final shapes up. I mean, because we if we finish first in our group, which we should do, we're playing Portugal, France, or Germany, right?
Yep.
Whoever finishes second in that group, and it's
we beat
in
all
terms
three
of
them.
pre-tournament expectations. I feel like we want to be getting quarter semis, but how it'll actually turn out, we're gonna like our run to the final is what Portugal, Spain, Belgium.
Yeah.
I think home advantage could help us out. Or not Portugal. Yeah,
Well, only if we reach the
because
semis, though.
I think every game we would play, if we finish first in our group, would be at Wembley, apart from the quarterfinal.
The round of 16 been moved to Wembley, the one that we'd be in.
I think so.
Oh right, fair. Then I mean, yeah, I think.
Oh.
Okay,
Also,
well, I mean,
I think we can
I would
beat
say-
Portugal. I think we can beat Portugal, to be honest.
I think we can
Yeah,
beat Germany as well.
okay,
think
now
I mean, what I
Germany
will
will
say,
have
what I also
Germany.
want to say about Germany, obviously I'm a bit biased, but I think Germany are being slept on almost.
ooh, okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, it can go one of two ways: either no motivation because it's his last tournament, or he could want to go out with a bang.
Yeah, well, I
don't
mean,
know.
they lost to North Macedonia
Because they've
couple
got a lot
months
of
ago,
talent
right?
in there.
I just feel like he's fizzled out since he's won that World Cup. It's like he's been there. He's achieved what he's needed to achieve. It seems
Yeah.
like he's picking up a bit of a paycheck at the minute.
Well, I don't know why they wouldn't
running out his contract.
I don't know why they wouldn't just bring in Hansi Flick for this tournament. I don't know why they keep Low for one. I think they should have obviously
Stability.
build up, but to the tournament. But moving on from the flop countries, we're going to move on to players you think are going to flop. And I'm starting. And based off a pre-tournament expectation, the player I think is going to flop, which is going to annoy quite a lot of you, is Phil Foden. Now you might be thinking, why Phil Foden? And this is because I truly believe, number one, I don't think he's going to get the game time that people think he will, because he's not better than Jack Grealish. Let's be honest. I don't think he's near Jack Grealish yet. And honestly, in terms of what's going to happen with the England team, I don't think he should play over Mason Mount either. I don't
Phil.
think I massively what
How can a Premier League and UCL finalist not be better than Jack Grealish? He's at least competitive for that sport, like competing for it.
Shaqiri was in the UCL final.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's competing for that sport.
yeah, but I think that when he does play,
Grealish has been
I
England's
don't think
best
he's going to be
player
great.
every single game he's played, basically. Every game.
On his debut, he got 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah, against Iceland, wasn't it?
Why would that ever matter? It still shows you can do it in international. Don't go on about Saka's then.
I'm not going on about Saka. I don't think Saka's going to play.
All these man of the matches.
Yeah, but he's not going to start, and neither's Phil Foden.
But
we'll get onto our
England
lineup later. Nick, who's the player you think is going to flop?
Next, yeah.
As you think Foden won?
I think Benzema.
He's injured.
He's injured, Nick.
But it's actually confirmed he's not playing.
No.
It looks serious.
It looked bad.
Is
it looks a
bad?
bad
Is it a
injury.
serious injury?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who could? Seeing I had France, probably. I don't know. They'd play Giroud, right? Probably Giroud then.
You think Giroud's going to flop?
Yeah.
I personally think he might take that. I think he might step up.
Well, it depends.
No, I don't know how you can flop.
I don't know.
From having 0 shots on target in your last major tournament.
5 goals away from Thierry Henry's record. He could have a big tournament.
He's one of France's best players.
Put himself in French.
Attacking wise.
But you think he's going to flop?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it counts as flopping. I'd say Morata. I think he's good. He's going to miss a good 10 massive chances.
10 massive chances.
Yeah, exaggeration. But
Spain are going to be. I guess Spain have quite an easy group, don't they? So I guess could.
But the thing with Spain is we don't know who's got COVID either.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's very
Spain
true.
could be playing a lot of youngsters.
I mean, to be fair,
Kian, who's flopping for you?
Well, I was in an hour and about 2 in particular, and Ralph's not going to like either of them. But I'm gonna say both, just so we can have a bit of a discussion about each one. I'm going to start with Bruno Fernandes, and this isn't because I think he's going to play badly. I just think he's had such a high level for the last year or so, maybe year and a half. I feel like going into this tournament, he's going to have an expectation which may be unrealistic. I don't think he's going to reach the level that people are going to expect him to go into this tournament. Yes, he's got his 2 goals and assists in his last game, but if you look further back than that for Portugal, he's not had the impact he's had at United, and I feel like that may be down to teammates or
Ronaldo taking penalties.
Let me
Should I count that
now?
now? Should I count that now, or do you want to say a second player?
Say a
first?
second player first.
I'll say my second player first. No, actually, do you know what? You can counter it, and then I'll take your point on board. It's not a attack on him.
No. Let me say something. Who did Portugal play when he got that?
I feel like it was Israel.
So keep the same energy of Foden then, Rel.
I'm not going to.
I've already addressed.
My argument is
goals and 1 assist.
He doesn't play for the same role for United and Portugal.
He played 8 for Portugal.
So it depends what expectation. It depends what expectations you have of him.
No, I'm saying
because
the average expectation going into this tournament, most people are going to think he's going to perform. I'm not saying that he's bad or he's going to play bad. That plays into my point of it's a different system. If he's playing a different position, he might not perform to the levels he does at United.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I don't
he's a strong,
think you call
player.
that flopping though. I don't think you can call that flopping.
He's not reaching his expectations.
Because he in that United side, he is like the player who gets the numbers essentially. Like that, the team plays around him. But for Portugal, he doesn't have that. Their expectation at international level isn't for him to get those same contributions. So
I think that's
if you're going to say he's flopping because he's not going to put up the numbers he's been putting up for the past year, I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's just false expectations as opposed to like flopping, which I'd say flopping is underperforming.
Maybe he'll be labelled as a flop because of the misinterpretation of his role. Who is your second player, Kian?
Jadon Sancho.
Ooh, Sancho.
Now,
I agree with that.
That's an interesting point.
Personally, I would put him. Oh no, we're going to go on to this. I would have him in that England team.
I'd start Saka over him.
Right, but it's a similar sort of thing. Expectation is a big part in going and looking at a flop, because if you get a player, and this is what I'm going to say to Raul about this Bruno Fernandes thing, regardless of what position he's playing and what his contributions are, you get a high-level player, you're going into a tournament, you're expecting them to play to that level. If you get a low-level player getting the same amount of contributions, there's a different expectation. So the low-level player won't be seen as a flop, where someone like Bruno Fernandes would. So with Jadon Sancho, I just feel like I can't see him making a massive impact in the team. I just don't think. I think he's going to ghost. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. To be fair.
Well, I think the good thing about England, which we'll get onto a bit later, is that we've got very good wing depth. We've got a few people who can play on both wings. We've got people who are more skill based on the wing. We've got players who can beat a man with a foul. Obviously, Jack Grealish, but we'll get onto that later. Anyway, next one, which is obviously a very important one. Who's going to win the Golden Boot? Let's start with Felix.
Then. I just wanted to say about Sancho.
Okay.
Oh, see. Is this based on what was it in the friendly against Romania? He hit the bar, didn't he? But
yeah,
I mean, he was a bit quiet, but I think that's quite significantly influenced by the fact he had Godfrey playing behind him.
I don't think he's ever
been quiet.
Though.
No, he's been quite quiet for him.
I think it's overlooked, like the impact who you have behind you on the wing at fullback has on your performance. Like.
Keane's gone for me.
Keane's gone.
Yeah, same. He'll come back. There he is. He's back.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Never mind. Felix, continue.
Top scorer. Wait, we move? Okay. Lukaku. Just straight to the point. Lukaku.
Why?
In my opinion, because they've got a nice group, I think, and I think they scored the most goals in qualifying out of any team. They've obviously got an array of attacking talent. Hazard, Bruyne, I'm blanking right now, but they score a lot of goals. And Lukaku is he their all-time top scorer already? Or he's getting there, and he's still only like 26. He's coming off a great season with Inter, I think, and I think Belgium make those semis at least. So yeah, Lukaku.
Keane, rotate your camera. Right, I'll do mine.
Nick, top scorer.
Well, obviously, because England are going to win it, I'm backing Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Penalties?
Harry Kane's gonna go.
Coming thick and fast?
Harry Kane, he's going to get top scorer. I can guarantee it.
How many goals?
It's going to happen. He's coming out of the group stage with at least 6 goals.
Group stage with 6 goals?
He's doing it. I'm telling you, he's bagging a hat-trick against Croatia.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I'll go before Keane. I kind of agree with Felix. I think Romelu Lukaku's going to win it, even though I think they're not going to go as far as maybe some people think. I think he's going to have most of his goals by the end of the group stage. I think he's going to end the tournament at 8 goals. I think he's going to have a very successful tournament. He's my captain in fantasy.
I think 8 goals is push. I mean, I'm pretty sure isn't the Euros record, like all-time top scoring record, is like 9, in over multiple tournaments.
Is it?
I think so.
Well, regardless, Romelu Lukaku, he's going sicko mode. I'm telling you right now. He's going to put I reckon
so he's getting 2 goals a game.
Putting minimum 3 past Finland,
essentially.
I think. Minimum 3 past Finland, a couple past Russia.
He'll get so many on the plate to him, to be fair.
And then if the way I've got things going, playing Germany, he's got Germany next round. He'll batter Germany, minimum 1 against them. Then theoretically playing Austria, Italy. Can't see him not scoring there. I just think Lukaku's going to go absolutely ham, and he's going to dominate the tournament. What about you, Keane?
I can't agree with this Harry Kane thing.
I'm going Harry.
Do you want to touch on it, Rel, before I start?
I don't think Kane's going to do it either.
No, King, go for it.
Kane's going to
So, my initial thoughts were in agreement with Rel and Will in Lukaku, but I feel like there's a discussion to be had about other players. So, my first option, other than Lukaku, I think that is my number 1. Like, I agree with what you said. I think Lukaku, but fit Benzema coming into that squad. He's got the link-up play. He's basically Giroud on steroids. He's had a good season. He's got Mbappe there. He's got a very strong team behind him.
He's no go-kart.
That's it.
Yeah, he's no go-kart.
If I'm going to have a hot take on it, and purely through carrying, if this team's going to go far like some people think they might, it's going to be very reliant on this player. I'm going to go with Yilmaz. Is it pronounced?
Burak Yilmaz.
I think he's in the conversation just for the fact. I think 80% of Turkey's goals are going to come through him because he's going to be such a big player in that team. I think he's in for shout because
I think so many people are rating him now.
Top scorer doesn't always mean you're in the best team.
No.
If you're carrying your team through, he could have a very good tournament. But that would be my hot take. That wouldn't be like my gut feeling.
If we're talking about teams who may be going a bit further, I think the likes
Should we do a
of
hot take?
well, I'll go first, and then you can whip out your hot take. But I think players like I don't see why people are. I mean, people are discussing it, but none of us have mentioned Antoine Griezmann. Always seems to perform in major tournaments for France.
he
He was the top
depends as
scorer
well.
last time.
Great goal against Wales.
He was the top scorer
Very
last
nice
time.
finish.
I mean, we've not mentioned a Portuguese player, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's
Yeah.
one of the greatest scorers of all time, definitely the greatest European scorer of all time. We can discount Messi in that argument because he's not European, obviously. Don't know why I say that, but you know, Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal, if they go all the way, then why can't he be the top scorer? I mean, if you're looking at a country...
My issue...
Go on, sorry.
No, my issue with Ronaldo and Kane is that I think Portugal and England are both teams that don't tend to score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
So,
like, even if they are getting like 80-90% of their team's goals, I think what we've got Croatia, Czech Republic, Scotland, we maybe put like 3 past Scotland.
Yeah.
But the other two, maybe 2 goals max coming into it. I don't know. I don't see
Who's your hot take, Ralph?
Top scorer.
Take. What?
Yeah.
Top. Okay, I'll go really bold. Chiesa.
Federico.
I've got
take.
my Euro team.
No, who scores Italy's goals?
No.
I think they share them around a bit, to be fair.
Belotti, I believe. I think it's quite dangerous to put an Italian in because they kind of rotate. I'm pretty sure their strikers quite regularly.
Are they a high scoring team in general, especially major tournaments?
I don't know.
I mean, they've not.
I think under Mancini they've kind of shaken
years.
off that old stereotype of just like really defensive smash and grab shit, like kind of thing.
I'm going for.
I think they do tend to play nicer football now, but I don't know if they've got a main source of goals or if it's kind of like Insigne gets a few, Belotti gets a few, etc., etc.
Right, I'm going for João Felix.
João Felix, it's your.
I can't. That's a piping hot take.
I don't even think he's going to be playing that much.
No, he will. I think João Felix. I think if Portugal go far, he'll pop off. 100%.
Okay, my hot take, because I've got them reaching the quarterfinals.
They need him in the team.
I've got Croatia reaching the quarterfinals. And my hot take. I think he could get quite a few goals. It's Ante Rebic. I think he's quite a solid player. Obviously, and if Croatia go far, I think they'll need goals from him.
I think.
Okay, and then talking about
Croatia could flop.
Maybe talking about Croatia. Obviously, at the World Cup, they had the player of the tournament. They had the Ballon d'Or winner, Luka Modric. So, guys, before we talk about England, who's your player of the tournament? I'll start with Nick.
No, I can't go yet. One of you can go.
Okay, I'll go to Felix then.
So only one man. Most technically gifted midfielder in the Premier League. It's Paul Pogba.
Pogba, your Pogba's player of the tournament.
No,
he's a great.
He could be leaving United He could easily be leaving United this year, putting himself out. Well, he's obviously already out there, but just really takes it. I mean, if I've got France winning it, take the tournament by the scruff of its neck.
Yeah,
really, because he plays incredibly for France every
Not
single time.
Kante?
No, like because at France, because Kante's there, I think just the system that they play under Deschamps,
he's got
a lot more freedom, and he really takes the opportunity and plays really well.
I mean, cool, blimey, what a goal he scored in the final! Beautiful stuff.
And and just before that goal as well, that pass to Mbappe, that's one of the best passes I've ever seen.
Gorgeous. Not quite Xhaka though. Kian, player of the tournament.
Pogba for me.
There's only one man for me, coming of age, Kylian Mbappe.
Wow.
I think it's very basic, but he can go all the way. And I think he is a key part. And he's had a good season from what I've seen. And I just think he's a key part of that France squad. And he's good technical play, great finishing, great speed. He's a strong player.
Yep.
Can win set pieces when he needs to. He likes to flop about a bit. I know it's frowned upon, but these are things that can win games.
I don't reckon he'll get a lot in the group stage though. Seeing as Diaz has pocketed him 3 times. Can't see him get a lot.
Diaz. I think Diaz.
What do you mean 3 times?
3 times. UCL when they played Portugal in the friendly.
All right.
Did he pocket him in that friendly?
Okay, then Nick, who have you got? Player of the tournament.
Pocket Trossard though.
Maybe Ruben Diaz himself.
I'm going Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. Okay.
I can see him getting. I can see him putting so many balls on the plate to Lukaku.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my player of the tournament, going along the same vein as Nick, I'm going to say Granit Xhaka. No, I'm just playing. Don't worry, boys. Don't worry. Player of the tournament for me. Sorry. Player of the tournament for me. I've not really thought about it, to be honest with you. But if I got hard pushed for an answer, I've got France winning it. I honestly think the player of the tournament. I've actually sneaky here. I've actually got England making the final against France, which we'll get onto next as part of my.
Is that by winning the group or coming second in the
We're
group?
winning the group. I alluded to it earlier. I think we're beating Portugal in the round of 16.
Yeah.
I've got the exact same as you then.
But I'll tell you right now that player of the tournament, Harry Kane. He showed it in the Premier League this season. I know he didn't get the accolades, but he's top scorer in the league, top assist provider in the league. I think he's going to. He'll be up there for top scorer. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be up there for. He's going to get a couple of assists, and he's going to carry the 3 lines to Wembley, where we eventually lose to France. But for me,
think he's got a point to prove, Will?
I think he's got a point to prove. He's not won a trophy with Tottenham.
I think
he's going to win it with England. Not this year, World Cup, but he's getting to the final this time.
I think really won't be able to, but I just can't trust Southgate. I can't trust him.
Okay,
He's got so much wrong with the squad.
Yeah. Okay, well let's start talking about.
We're going to go into that. We are going to.
Let's start talking about England right now. So theoretically, let's just plop out a basic 4-3-3. Just doesn't matter what sort.
It all depends if Maguire's starting, doesn't it?
A basic sort of 4-3-3. The England squad's obviously.
Are we taking injuries into account here?
We're injuries semi into account. Maguire's back in training, so we'll say he's available. So
let's say if they're in the squad,
if they're in the squad, they're playing for this thing. Right,
what are we doing?
I'll say a position and we'll all run through, okay? So goalkeeper, who's starting for you? I'll go first. Jordan Pickford. Anyone disagree with that?
No,
he gets way too much disrespect.
The disrespect
had a good end to the season.
Although Johnston played, I
think he's really good with pens as well, isn't he? Pickford. Yeah. Because obviously we beat Colombia. We beat Switzerland on pens as well in Nations League.
Yeah.
So he's never let England down. There's no reason to drop him.
Do you remember Harry Maguire?
Can I just say, these Dean Henderson shouts, he's not had enough game time this season.
Yeah,
he's a good keeper, but he's not experienced enough, and it's a major tournament.
Yes, he's a good keeper, but I think he showed his naivety against Liverpool, especially with that Mo Salah goal. That was the positioning on that was terrible. Okay, we'll move on. Right back.
I've seen shouts for Johnson to start as well. Like, yes, he had a good game against Romania, but it's one game.
Okay, so
come on.
Right back. Obviously, Trent's not in the squad. Walker, Keane.
It's got to be Walker.
Taking into effect, we're doing a 4-3-3 Walker. If it was Gareth Southgate, he'd be at centre back for me.
Yeah,
but
if we play a
4-3-3, Walker at right back, 100%.
Yeah, okay, me too. Kyle Walker. I think you can't.
I'd put him in at right back over Trent.
Yeah,
for England.
Even if Trent was fit, yeah, I agree. Okay, so if we're playing
centre backs, have to be
two centre backs, Maguire and Stones. I don't think there's any sort of debate about.
If Maguire's injured, I'd put Ben White in there.
I would take Mings.
Ben White.
Mings is third choice for me.
I'm taking Mings.
Yeah, I'd say Maguire.
Mings, he's carried by being left-footed.
I agree with that.
He's not even the best centre half at Aston Villa. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he is.
The Esri Conte take.
He's not.
I don't like the Conte take, but it's irrelevant. We will.
And I don't think Cody. I personally don't think Cody should be in the squad.
No.
He's not had a brilliant season with Wolves.
Especially considering how good Rob Holding's been. It's kind of disgraceful that he's not in the squad.
By the way, as a Liverpool fan, Maguire is disrespected.
Fact. He's so clear in the England squad over every other centre back.
He's number one. He's number one.
I'm an absolute day one of Jacob Harry Maguire.
Jacob Maguire. It's his price tag for me. That's my main thing. He's English, obviously, but was he an £80 million centre back? No.
Yeah.
Is he a strong 50 to 60? Yes. Yeah. It's because he's English, and I think he gets a lot of hate
and United
and
his appearance, so that doesn't help.
I think his appearance is a big problem.
I think left back
he gets bullied for it.
It's got
left back now, no brainer. It's Luke Shaw. I don't think that really needs to be a discussion. He's so far clear of Ben Chilwell.
I think Ben Chilwell will get game time in that Euros though from Southgate. I think he should be Luke Shaw.
Chilwell could potentially get game time if we play 5-back.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, because apparently Southgate was looking at Luke Shaw at centre back.
Yeah.
Which,
okay. So midfield,
Three fullbacks,
three midfielders.
I think
I
midfield
think
really
Declan
depends
Rice
on
has
who
to
we play.
start.
I think
Declan
Rice.
I feel
has to
like we're all
start.
in agreement on this midfield.
I'm
Rice
not sure.
has to
I
start.
think it
I've
depends on
definitely
who
got
we
Rice
play.
in there.
It against a weaker side, I would have the pivot of Rice and then
Henderson.
Mount as a box to box
Mount.
if we're playing a more defensive side,
But who's the other
or,
midfielder?
Yeah.
or even just a weaker side.
Who's your other midfielder?
Because I don't think we'd need that Henderson and Rice pairing.
Yeah,
who's
I
your
don't
other
think
midfielder
we
then?
need that kind of
Side.
protection against the weak side.
Felix, who's your other midfielder then? If we've
Mount. Well, Mount at the attacking mid, but if Mount's box to
Yeah,
box, then I'd put
you've said
Grealish
Mount.
central.
if we're playing three
I'd
You
say
said
midfielders,
Grealish,
Mount
yeah.
and Rice. You said Mount and Rice so far.
Yeah.
Okay,
one
yeah.
more.
If I'm having Mount and Rice, then I'm having Grealish. But if we're playing a
attacking
better side,
mid,
then
not on the left.
Then I'd have Mount, Hendo, Rice.
You'd
Not-
have him in the middle.
you'd have Grealish
Yeah,
on the
Grealish
middle,
in
not
the
on the
middle.
left.
Yeah.
Okay. Personally,
I think I know who you're putting on the left.
I think my midfield, I'd go definitely Rice.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if he's fit, Henderson.
Yeah.
And if we're going
As
three,
long as he doesn't take pens.
if we're going three, I want a bit of
Mhm.
an X factor in the midfield. I want a bit of a sneaky one. I'd like to see Jude Bellingham getting some minutes.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think
No,
Okay.
I think
not
Jude
at
Bellingham has
starts.
proved that he can do it at the biggest stage, scoring twice against Manchester City in the Champions League. One of them got chalked off. Bullshit. He scored twice.
Yeah.
One of them didn't count. He put it in
It's
the
a
net
bit different
twice.
when it's for your country, though.
Let's just say he knocked Man City out of the Champions League, really.
Yeah,
We won't talk about
Realistically.
that.
but for me, Bellingham, Henderson, Rice, or Mount. Mount maybe over Bellingham, but I think Bellingham will get some minutes because he's a great player. Nick, midfield three.
Or,
I think I can call this one.
Depends on the team we're playing. If obviously I'm starting Declan Rice,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not starting Foden in the midfield three. So I'd probably put, if you're playing a strong side, I'd probably put Rice, Hendo, and then Mount.
Mason Mount,
The-
yeah.
but depends if you're playing a weaker side. I don't know who I'd put. I'd probably put Rice, Mount. Yeah, probably Bellingham.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if he can prove it.
I think Ian,
It's a bit
same,
weird when it comes
similar
to Bellingham.
midfield.
No, I've got two different ideas. So obviously, if you're playing a more defensive game, Henderson, Rice, and then it'd be a toss-up. I like the idea of at the Euros. I'd like the idea of Foden playing that central attacking midfielder spot, but I can't decide. Maybe I'd rotate between Mount and Foden in that centre attacking midfielder spot. I think they've both shown they can handle that level, and they're very top level. Against
He's got
that was against the more attacking side. You got your France stuff like that. That we need to
against
be
who,
able
Kian? Kian, you lagged
to
slightly
hold
against
against. A team that we need.
Can
I
go on
believe
your data.
Kian's having.
It's my connection against like a France or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Front three.
Wait,
I'll go last on this one, so I got a little. I got
Kian,
some
well, wait.
more.
You can go last on the front three. Front three for me, no brainer. Harry Kane at striker, obviously. No doubt in my mind that you play Jadon Sancho on the right. I know maybe he's not been great for England, but he's phenomenal. And then the left wing. It's an interesting spot in the England team. There's so many players who can fill that role. But for me, Jack Grealish. I don't think anyone else should take Jack Grealish's starting spot, whether it's in the middle, whether it's at left wing. Jack Grealish has to start for England. And if Grealish is in the midfield, I'd start Marcus Rashford on the left over Phil Foden. I think
Rashford
think
has to start.
Marcus
I don't
Rashford
think you understand how
so good.
No, I'm not starting.
the
I think-
link up that Rashford has with Shaw is like
Yeah, but
because
the
they've
link
been
up
playing
has with
that
Grealish
left
is
flank for
poor.
United for a good 2 years now. They've got a really good understanding of how they play. Like they play together really well. They always seem to know what they're doing, and I don't think Foden starts for England.
I think
The
Rashford
link-
always
At
performs
this stage,
the link
well
up-
for
he
England.
obviously
link
will
up-
in the
no,
future, but right now, going into the first game of the tournament, Foden is not in the
The
11
link
against
up Rashford
Croatia.
and Grealish have is poor. It's poor. I'm saying that now. It's
No.
poor.
Yeah, but if
It is
Rashford's starting,
poor.
then Grealish isn't.
No, it depends if you
no,
play Grealish
because
in
he
the
said
middle.
No, because
he said
I'd start
Grealish is in the
Rashford,
middle, he'd
Kane,
start Rashford on the left.
Sancho, Grealish, Mount,
Right.
Rice.
Okay.
So obviously you go
If we're
Kane.
playing with Mount at cam and Hendo Rice, then I'd play Grealish, Kane, Sancho, just because I've got maybe some doubts over Rashford's fitness or form.
Grealish has to start though.
I think Rashford starts over Foden for me.
My front three, I think obviously you got Kane. I think people are sleeping on Sterling, especially for England. Sterling for England in front of fans he's class. I don't know why everyone's sleeping on him.
Apart from at the World Cup.
In front of fans?
He plays so much better in front of fans.
Except at the World Cup.
I don't think you can sign him on the hypothetical, there's fans there. I don't think you can sign him on that hypothetical.
I'd play
Sterling over
Rashford. I'd play Sterling over Rashford and I'd play Grealish on the right wing.
Grealish on the right?
Grealish on the right, that doesn't work.
Surely you play Sterling on the right,
Grealish on the left. Or even Sterling on the right. Okay. But I think Sterling should play in his squad. He's going to get started. Sterling will start. It's Southgate. It's just my opinion.
What's everyone taught? I'll go first because.
Have I gone from our front three yet? Or
sorry, Kian, I forgot. You go for it.
So I'm gonna go obviously with the Grealish left, Kane middle or striker, Sancho right. But I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin needs to be getting minutes somewhere
against Scotland.
I think he can make a massive impact. Yeah, a game like that, a game where if we're winning, maybe get him on. I think he can bag a few goals for us.
If we're playing Scotland, I'm not going to bullshit here. I want to see my boy playing. Yes, I'm biased, but he's been good whenever he's played for England. I want to see Bukayo Saka get
Scotland's not an easy game, by the way.
I think everyone's overlooking Scotland way too much.
Scotland's not an
it's not an
Netherlands
easy
scraped the draw.
What a pivot.
The Netherlands scraped the draw.
It's just an English thing. We're going to batter the Scots. I have no doubt in my mind.
Pretty sure we don't play well against Scotland. Last time we played them.
We got a last-minute equaliser.
We scored a last-minute equaliser against them last time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, we're battering Scotland.
British teams is not our thing.
We'll batter Scotland. I have no doubt. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run through how I think England tournament's going to go, how I've got it in my predictor, and you're going to say whether you think I've got it wrong or whatever.
I think I've got the same as you, to be fair.
So I've obviously got England winning.
Have a listen.
I've got England winning our group. We beat Croatia on Sunday. I'll be there cheering on the boys. We're going to win that. We're then going to beat Scotland 4-0. My prediction. We're going to beat Scotland 4-0.
Harry Kane hat-trick.
Harry Kane will get at least 2. And then we're going to draw 1-1 with the Czech Republic. But we will go through top of our group. We will then match up against Portugal in the round of 16. We beat Portugal. They have an off day.
I've had Portugal
extra time.
1-0 on penalties. 1-0 with a penalty. 1-0 with a penalty, not 1-0 on penalties. That would be embarrassing.
Harry Kane again.
And then England match up against Spain in the quarterfinals. Spain don't stand a chance against England, especially with their COVID-riddled squad. So we beat Spain. Then we play Netherlands in the semi-finals, who have cruised past Turkey in the previous round. Yeah, Netherlands. Well, I've got Netherlands playing against Croatia, Turkey, and then us. We beat the Netherlands easily.
Yeah, we will beat Netherlands.
Comfortable. Then we lose to France in the final.
Well, if you're getting England to the final...
who have you got finishing second in our group?
France.
We don't beat France.
Croatia.
We beat
who have you got finishing second in our group?
Croatia.
How does that... How come?
They don't play Croatia. They play the Czech Republic. They play the Czech Republic in the round of 16. Sorry.
Right, okay.
We beat France.
Nick, you've got England winning the World Cup. We know that. Kian, what about you?
World Cup, Euros.
I think we draw our first game. We're always a bit slow on our first games.
I hope we don't.
If you look back to the World Cup.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be a 1-1 with Croatia.
Uh-huh.
I think we're going to scrape wins through. I don't think we're going to blitz this group like people think. I think we're going to win 2-1 against Scotland.
Yep.
And then I think we're going to pick up the pace a bit and win 2-0 against Czech Republic.
Okay.
I think we're going to... I'm going to go for it. I think we're going to beat Portugal.
So you've got Portugal coming second in that group.
Yeah, I think France will win. I think Germany will go through as third place.
Yep.
And who's semi-final again? Netherlands.
Well, quarterfinals could be Spain. Theoretically, it'd be Spain if you've got the beating like Ukraine. In my bracket,
I think we've got the beating of Spain.
I agree.
Personally, I couldn't tell you if it's
shame we don't have Eric Dyer.
I think it depends how we turn up. Yeah.
I think we got Spain in the bag. To be fair.
I think we got Spain.
I think we need to turn up. I don't think we've got any easy games. We have to turn up. But if we turn up, we can beat them.
They've got a new defence, Laporte and Garcia. We could definitely beat them.
It's Pau Torres,
Torres.
Well, it depends who they
Depends
play.
who
You beat
plays.
Holland.
Eric Garcia will not play. He's only going because Luis Enrique hates Real.
He's playing in the friendlies.
Saka's playing in the friendlies.
So is Calvert-Lewin.
Anyway, Keane,
Calvert-Lewin don't
continue.
play.
Keane, semi-final. Netherlands.
Right,
Do we
going on
beat
to the
them?
semi-finals. Watching them against Scotland, I know it's not maybe their their first team, but they've got key players in there.
Why?
Hello, oh, that was low battery. Sorry. Oh shit. Right. I think we beat them quite comfortably. I think out of those 3 games, that's the easiest game.
Really?
Personally, I think we beat them.
Okay.
Yeah. I think even easier than Spain.
You guys making the final?
And
I think Netherlands. I think Netherlands are a very average side.
Well, you've already said you think
Yeah.
France are winning it, so
I think France destroy us in the final. I
You've
don't
got to
think
back
so
the
too.
boys.
I don't think we even have
So
looking
easily.
against France. Not in a final. I
We've
think
got
if
home
we got them,
advantage, to be fair.
if we somehow had them earlier in the tournament, I know it's not going to happen.
I mean,
I
Portugal
think
can
we've
win
got
their
more of a
group.
chance.
Portugal can win their group.
If that happens and we play France round 16, I think we can beat them. I think getting to the
Benzema
final,
might not be back. You
yeah,
never know.
I think
We're
getting
gonna
to the
beat-
final.
We're gonna
got
beat
us.
France in the final. We will.
Nah. No way.
100%.
Felix,
No
no
Benzema.
Felix, you said you think England are going to flop. Where have you got us going out?
England Portugal is a really hard match to call for me.
I agree.
I mean, okay, so group
Yeah.
stages. I think we 3-0 Croatia. They're an aging side, not what they
Harry
were
Kane hat
even
trick.
3 years ago. I think Scotland maybe a 2-0, and Czech Republic will stutter a bit because we'll be qualified and we'll maybe give some of the weaker players a run out. I guess second string. England Portugal.
Like Rashford.
If we beat Portugal, then I reckon we can make the final because it's such a mentality thing. If we beat that big team,
Yeah.
straight out the blocks in the knockouts, then I've got us playing Spain next, potentially
Here's
weakened Spain
flying.
again, and then
We
then
all
I'd
agree
have
we beat
us
Spain
playing.
easy, right?
I've then got us playing Denmark in the
So you've got just to clarify, that means you've got Denmark beating Turkey, Holland, and then playing us.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we beat
I have
Turkey.
an alternative.
and then I think we
scenario.
can beat that. I mean, we lost to Denmark.
Denmark.
But that was the match. The match I never want to think about again, where we played 5 back and 2 DMs.
That game was embarrassing.
So yeah,
So you got us
but I think
making the final.
it all
Who have you
hinges
got in
on
the final?
that Portugal game, and I think
I agree.
Really
I think
tight.
if we beat whoever finishes second in Group F, I
We're
think we win.
winning.
I think we get to the final minimum.
I think
we
Portugal
beat
is like
France.
getting to the top of a hill, and then until the final, I feel like it's just downhill in a good way, just easy.
Yeah.
But I've got an alternative scenario, and I think Southgate should listen to this podcast. Southgate, win our first 2 games, and put out our under 15s against Czech Republic,
He
and
can't
make
do
us
that.
finish second.
He can't do that. They're not.
Then
in
the
squad.
rules.
Just-
All right, then play Harry Kane at centre back and Maguire at striker. Right.
Kane would put
Let
in a
us
shit-
lose.
Kane's actually very good defensively. Whenever
Look-
he's defending his corners, he gets those headers.
Who would we be playing? Like Poland or something?
Well,
Poland and who?
theoretically, we'd be playing Switzerland. No, Poland. But then we play. Then we'd be playing France. In the
So
Is this if we finish second?
yeah, but what about third?
Who's it?
if we sneak
If
through
we
in
get
third,
third-
we'd be playing. We'd be in the side of the bracket where we play Netherlands, Denmark
Oh.
/ Turkey. Then we'd play Spain or Portugal, and then we'd reach the final. I think we're.
That's the
gonna get to
easiest
final,
way.
though.
I think we get to the final.
We beat
think-
France.
If we play France, if we did hypothetically finish second, right, and played France earlier on, we've got a better chance at beating them.
Okay.
I do really believe that. I feel like the occasion will get to us otherwise
Yeah.
against a team like them.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming on. Any parting words
No
before we go?
problem. See us next week
It's coming
when
home.
we review the first round of games.
It's coming home,
Talk
boys.
about performances.
I was about to beat my
It's
chest, but I'm
coming
not wearing
home.
the England shirt. Nick, it's coming home.
It is coming home.